Why walking after meals can transform your health. What if one of the simplest things you could do for your health costs nothing, requires no gym membership, and takes less than 15 minutes? It's walking after a meal. It sounds almost too simple to matter, but that short walk after eating can influence blood sugar, digestion, circulation, and even how your body handles the energy you just consumed. And the surprising part is that you don't need to walk for an hour. You don't need to run. You don't need expensive equipment. You need to move. So in this video, we're going to look at what happens inside your body when you walk after meals, why timing matters, how long you actually need to walk, and why this tiny habit could become one of the easiest upgrades to your daily routine. Stay until the end, because the final benefit may be the one you notice most in everyday life. The problem with sitting after eating. Think about what usually happens after a meal. You eat, clear the table, sit on the sofa, pick up your phone, watch television, or return to your desk. For many people, the next hour is almost completely sedentary. But your body isn't finished working. After you eat, carbohydrates are broken down into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream and becomes an important source of energy. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin. Insulin helps move glucose from the bloodstream into cells where it can be used or stored. The problem isn't that blood sugar rises after eating. That's a normal part of digestion. The issue is how high it rises, how long it stays elevated, and how efficiently your body handles it. And this is where movement becomes interesting. Your muscles are some of the biggest users of glucose in your body. When you walk, your muscles need energy. That means they can take up glucose from your bloodstream and use it as fuel. You don't necessarily need intense exercise to activate this process. A simple walk can help. Why timing matters. Walking at any time is beneficial, but walking relatively soon after eating can be especially useful because it overlaps with the period when blood glucose is beginning to rise. Instead of remaining seated while your blood sugar climbs, you're giving your muscles a reason to use some of that available energy. Think of it like this. After a meal, glucose is entering the bloodstream. Sitting tells your body, we're resting. Walking tells your muscles, we need energy. That difference can affect your post-meal blood sugar response. Research has found that short walks after meals can reduce post-meal glucose elevations compared with remaining sedentary. And you don't have to turn your walk into a workout. Even gentle movement can help. You don't need a long walk. This is one of the most encouraging parts. People often assume that exercise only counts if it lasts 30, 45, or 60 minutes. But when the goal is managing the rise in blood glucose after eating, shorter bouts of movement can still be meaningful. A brief walk after breakfast, another after lunch, another after dinner. Instead of trying to find one large block of time for exercise, you're distributing movement throughout your day. For someone with a busy schedule, this can be much easier. You could walk around your neighborhood, walk through your house, walk around your workplace, take a few extra laps through a building. The goal isn't speed. The goal is movement. What about digestion? Many people also find that walking after meals feels better than immediately lying down or sitting for a long period. Gentle movement can encourage normal gastrointestinal activity and may help you feel less sluggish after eating. But there's an important distinction. Walking isn't a magic cure for digestive problems. If you regularly experience severe abdominal pain, persistent vomiting, unexplained weight loss, difficulty swallowing, or other concerning symptoms, don't assume walking will solve the problem. Those symptoms deserve proper medical evaluation. For ordinary post-meal sluggishness, however, a gentle walk can be a simple habit worth trying. It may help with blood sugar management. This is where the habit becomes particularly interesting. Repeated spikes in blood glucose aren't necessarily dangerous by themselves. Blood sugar naturally rises and falls throughout the day. But consistently elevated blood glucose can become a concern, particularly for people with insulin resistance, prediabetes, or diabetes. Physical activity improves the body's ability to use glucose. Your muscles can absorb glucose during activity, and regular physical activity can also improve insulin sensitivity over time. That doesn't mean walking replaces medication, dietary changes, or medical advice. It means walking can become another useful tool. For someone trying to improve metabolic health, small habits can add up. What happens to your energy? There's another reason people may enjoy walking after meals. You might expect eating to give you energy. Instead, a large meal can sometimes make you feel sleepy. This can happen for several reasons, including the size and composition of the meal, your normal circadian rhythm, and the body's digestive response. A short walk can provide a change of environment and gentle physical stimulation. Walking can also become a mental reset. There's a benefit that has nothing to do with calories. Walking creates space. After a stressful workday, a post-dinner walk can become a quiet transition between responsibilities and rest. You can leave your phone behind, you can listen to music or a podcast, or you can simply walk. That simple routine may help you disconnect from work, spend time with family, or clear your mind before bed. And when a healthy habit also feels enjoyable, you're more likely to repeat it. What about weight loss? This is where we need to be realistic. Walking after meals isn't a secret fat-burning trick. Weight loss ultimately depends on your overall energy balance, eating patterns, physical activity, sleep, and many other factors. But walking contributes to your daily physical activity. And here's why consistency matters. Imagine someone who walks for 10 minutes after each of 3 meals. That's 30 minutes of additional movement spread throughout the day. Do that regularly, and those minutes accumulate. The individual walk may feel small. The long-term habit isn't. And because walking is relatively accessible for many people, it's often easier to maintain than an extreme exercise routine. How soon should you walk? You don't need to sprint out of the kitchen immediately after putting down your fork. A practical approach is to begin walking fairly soon after your meal, particularly during the period when your blood glucose is rising. Keep the intensity comfortable. You should be able to breathe normally and hold a conversation. If you've eaten a very large meal and feel uncomfortable, give yourself a little time before moving. The goal is not punishment. You're not trying to burn off the meal. You're helping your body use the energy you've just consumed. How long should you walk? There's no single perfect number for everyone. Even a short walk can be useful. If you're starting from a sedentary lifestyle, begin with 5 to 10 minutes. Once that feels easy, you can gradually increase the duration. 10 to 15 minutes after meals can be a practical target for many people. And if you enjoy longer walks, there's no reason to stop there. The important thing is finding something you can actually maintain. 5 minutes consistently is often more valuable than an ambitious 1-hour plan you abandon after a week. The biggest mistake people make. The biggest mistake isn't walking too slowly. It's thinking the habit is too small to matter. Modern health advice often focuses on dramatic transformations. Lose 20 pounds. Run 5 miles. Exercise 6 days a week. Completely change your diet. Those goals may work for some people. But health is also built from tiny behaviors repeated thousands of times. Drinking water instead of another sugary drink. Taking the stairs. Standing more often. Walking after meals. Going to bed at a consistent time. Individually, these actions can seem insignificant. Together, they create a lifestyle. Walking after meals won't magically transform your body overnight, but it can transform something more important: your daily habits. It turns an ordinary moment, finishing a meal, into an opportunity to move. It gives your muscles a chance to use circulating glucose. It adds physical activity without requiring a gym. It can support metabolic health. It may help you feel less sluggish, and it can become a simple mental reset. Most importantly, it doesn't demand perfection. You don't have to walk after every meal for the rest of your life. Start with 1. Choose the easiest meal. Walk for 5 or 10 minutes. Then repeat tomorrow. Because the most powerful health habits aren't always the ones that look impressive. They're the ones you actually keep doing. So the next time you finish eating, instead of immediately reaching for the remote or your phone, ask yourself one simple question. What if I walked for 10 minutes first? That small decision could be the beginning of a much healthier routine. If you found this video useful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who could benefit from this simple habit.